Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time, okay? I certainly hope you're not here to waste mine. So I'm gonna keep this short.
Helen, we're both in sales. Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman.
Most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Coffee's for closers only.
Well, hello there, friend. Welcome back to the Behind Your Back podcast with me, Bradley Hartman, founder, CEO of the Behind Your Back Sales company. On this podcast, we talk about leadership, personal productivity, time management, and the craft of selling in this construction industry. Now, I'm excited to share with you today this short little episode, and we're doing it for a specific reason. We are getting ready to sell the remaining, I believe we're at 50, maybe 49 seats to our Sales Fundamentals Workshop in 2022, Fort Worth, Texas, April 18th, 19th, and 20th. This is our third annual. We will sell out for the third consecutive time, and we're very excited for this. So we're going to be doing this launch sequence where we're going to give you a little more context about what's involved in it to see it might be a fit for you. We're going to share some testimonials, but most importantly, we are going to share some content from the actual workshop here for free to see if this is a fit. And if you listen to this episode and the ones that follow, we also have a video series so you can see me in person if that's better. I will say, many people, including my mother, have remarked that the podcast, the radio format is better for a face like mine, but nonetheless, we've done videos as well. So if you want to see an action, you want to see a little more visuals and graphics to go with it, you can do that. We have a video series that coincides with this episode and the two that follow. So quick context here, the Sales Fundamentals Workshop, what is it? This is 2 days where we get the most talent, and I firmly believe this. We get the most sales talent from across the country in our industry in the same place at one time together. And I firmly believe that. I don't believe any other conference or any other event that happens throughout the year will bring as much sales talent into one place as we're able to do at our Sales Fundamentals Workshop. Why do I believe that? Well, first of all, we're getting manufacturers there. We're getting distributors there. We're getting dealers there, okay? And we're getting talent at all different levels. We're having individual contributors. We're having VPs of sales. We're having owners. We're also having inside sales teams who are coming to get a different perspective on how to deliver unique value to their customers. And instead of having kind of a one-shot deal when we get together that increases the likelihood of you leaving and going back to your job and then slowly fading back into the habits that you were doing before, we have changed the entire approach to a before, during, and after model. So before, what do? We have pre-calls with everyone to understand their goals. We have our 360-degree assessment we hand out, and we gather the data and compare it to different parts of the country, and we share that with not only the people in attendance, but also their managers. And then we start our book club. We have a quarterly book club where we send out books directly to all the attendees. Then we have these 2 days together. Everything's included: food, drink, entertainment. We bring video cameras in so people can see what they look like on camera. We have LinkedIn photos. So we have a photographer who's going to give you an upgraded LinkedIn photo for most folks who need that. And obviously, we are bringing the very best sales content on the fundamentals that we have. What are those fundamentals? Those are goals, pipeline visualization, and valuation. This is prospecting and time management. Those are the four staples: goals, pipeline, prospect, and time management. And then once people leave, what do? The book club continues. And probably the most valuable thing that we offer is we build this community of sales professionals from across the country. And we get together once a month online. It's called the MAC, M-A-C, our monthly accountability call. And we hold each other accountable. We share new ideas. We encourage each other. And we're building up this community of sales pros who are all battling very, very similar issues. And it's not easy in this profession, but we can help each other get through it and dominate in our local markets. So that's what it is. We're bringing confidence and we're building community. That's what we're doing around sales in the LBM industry. All right, so that's the event. At the end of this launch, you will be able to enroll in this program. We're offering 75 seats and 75 only because we're going to get to know each and every attendee. And we've already sold more than a third of these seats when people who came to our event in September said, "Hey, we're definitely in. Where can I pay?" I said, well, here's a rule in sales. When people offer you money, you say yes. You take it. So we book those seats. We're looking to sell the balance here over the next week and a half or so. All right, so let's get into the content here. So if this resonates with you, you're going to like the content we have in our event. And if it doesn't really resonate with you, well, maybe it will one of your colleagues. And hey, I admit, maybe it's not a fit for you this year or ever. That's okay. This is still free content. So let's start with what I believe is the number one rule in sales, and people often violate this. It's not about you. Your customer, your prospect, that's the hero, okay? You are the guide, you are patient, you are knowledgeable, you are helpful. It's not about you. I know we have filled your head with a ton of product knowledge. I know we have filled your head with a ton of knowledge about the history of your company and its grand tradition and heritage and legacy. I know, that's great. No one really cares. It's not about you. So whenever we're telling a story, and this is really a part of what we're doing as sales professionals, we're telling a story, we got to understand how stories are built. And one of the foundational things when it comes to narratives and storytelling is know who the hero is and then make him or her suffer. Whether it's Finding Nemo and the dad, I believe his name was Marlin, spot check that. Maybe it's Star Wars and Luke Skywalker. Maybe it's Breaking Bad and Walter White. Maybe it's The Big Lebowski and we're talking about the dude, El Duderino. If you think about those movies, every one of them, the hero, the protagonist, suffers mightily. They've lost hands, they've been drugged, they've been beat up. They suffer. This is part of the story. And what I'm about to say might sound harsh. Just hear me out. When you meet your prospect, when you meet your customer, and you feel a selling situation coming up, you need to slow down. You need to make them suffer. Why? Because too often we rush in and we create 3 risks. Risk number 1, we do not fully understand the issue at hand. We make assumptions and we say, oh my gosh, this is like a fastball coming down the middle of the plate. I'm going to swing. Actually, it might be a curveball. Slow down, watch it all the way in, right? We need to slow down. And too often we jump right in and say, quit talking. I got a solution for you. Let me sell you that, all right? So that's the first risk. The second risk is we identify the solution, but it's only part of the larger whole. So your prospect or customer has problems A, B, C, and D that roll up into this whole thing, and you stop after B because it looks like a sale and it smells like a sale, and it is. But it's not the entire solution. So you're losing out on a sale and you're causing your prospect, your customer, to continue down his journey without you to find the rest of the solution. And risk number 3, the customer or prospect may undervalue. They might not truly understand the size, scale, and complexity of the problem that they are currently in. They do not even understand how much pain they are in. They know it's a problem and they just want it to go away, and you show up, and if they think you can solve that, then great. There it is. All right. So those are the 3 risks. How do we slow things down and let them suffer a little bit to make sure we fully understand the problem at hand? This comes down to 7 simple questions, and I'm going to give you a template. You can go to behindyourbacksales.com/tools and download it for free, and you can use it. And I promise you, your next sales call, it will change the dynamic because you will have a much better understanding of the size of the problem. And my guess is it's probably going to be much larger than you originally anticipated. So what are they? And I know when I read them to you, they might sound underwhelming, but used in combination, when you force the customer or prospect to wallow in their own misery and they're suffering a little bit, only then will you draw out the details of the situation. These 7 questions to quantify pain and your value are: number 1, how much? Number 2, how often? Number 3, at what cost? Number 4, who all does it affect? Number 5, who's responsible? Number 6, what are the consequences? And number 7, when would you like it solved? So as we are training young salespeople, we literally use this as a checklist, and they need to go in and they can't leave a conversation with a customer or prospect until they check the box on all of these. And theoretically, this should be simple. There's 7 questions. I'm going to get an answer for each, and we move on with our day. And let me solve your problem. It's not that easy because, well, customers and prospects, they're not just going to follow a script. They're not going to follow a checklist. They're going to tell their story. So again, here it is. These 7 questions are: how much, how often, at what cost, who all does it affect, who's responsible, what are the consequences, and when would you like it solved? So if you leave out any one of these questions, you are minimizing your ability to A, fully solve the problem, and B, maximize your potential for profit. More often than not, these problems, when you get all the information, this is a really big deal. And as a sales profession, we are poor questioners. The minute we smell something that looks like a problem that we can solve, we jump on it and we try to get the hell out of there so we can send in the order. So we need to dwell on it just a little bit. We need to allow our customer or prospect to suffer just a little bit, and you need to work. You need to commit yourself to not leave until all 7 of these, how much, how often, at what cost, who all does it affect, who's responsible, what are the consequences, and 7, when would you like it solved? Until you have answers for these, you cannot leave. You're doing yourself a disservice and you're doing your customer or prospect a disservice. All right, if you think this is too simple, if you think this isn't a great nugget, call my bluff. Go to behindyourbacksales.com/tools, download the 7 questions to quantify pain, and use it immediately. And if you're a sales manager and you're seeing that you have salespeople struggling to kind of come up with creative solutions, or the solutions are too small in dollar value, this is potentially your answer. Go download it and use it. So there you go. That's just one piece. Allow your customer or prospect to suffer just a little bit. Now, I could go on and I can run my mouth about how great our sales fundamentals workshop is, but obviously I'm biased, very much so. So I'm going to use another sales tool that's not used nearly enough. This, my friends, is a testimonial, and it's featuring my friend Jeff McVeigh from Mid-Cape in the East Coast.
Yeah, so just left Bradley's sales fundamental workshop, and I thought it was great. I came in confident and comfortable in what I was doing, and I left with tools, programs, and just a confidence that I really feel I can take to the field and just become the best version of myself, professionally and personally. And it was just an inspiring time.
So there you go. An offer is coming to attend the Sales Fundamentals Workshop in 2022 in Fort with me and 74 of our closest sales professional friends. If you are interested, you're going to have the opportunity to, number one, save $200 when this offer is over. Again, it's going to go up $200. We're also going to include, this is not available for sale, the new book that I've been talking about, the workbook with Carl Moyer of Par Lumber. It's called Yes, Fear Works, But There's a Better Way. It's got our first 5 chapters, and it's a workbook that you can use with your team. That's included, and a hat that you can buy nowhere. It says you are owed nothing. Deliver value first. And hopefully we try to do that right here. So we have another short episode that's coming up soon, and this is going to be on the power curve and applying the 80-20 rule. And applying this is one of the most important things that we've done in our business, and probably the most important thing we've done to our clients as well. So more on that. New episode coming shortly this week. So with that, my friends, we're going to close it like we always do. You are owed nothing. Deliver value first.